Hey guys, welcome back to Pinehaven Acres. My name is Kirsten and this is my Rabbitry. In this video, I wanted to give you guys an animal update, the first of 2024, and introduce you to all of the rabbits that we currently have. I primarily breed rabbits for show, and we often have stock available for others if they are looking to show or do 4-H for their kids. And then we also have meat stock that we will sell to other people so they can be more self-sufficient themselves. And then we occasionally will have a couple pet quality animals that go to new homes. To start this video off, I will show you my shed. We're not going to go in there today. I can make a separate video of that, but this is where I keep all of my animal feed, show supplies, all the accessories, I guess you could say. So this is the shed, and we had a lovely sign made up at the top that says Pinehaven Acres about a year or two ago. And then we will start with the rabbits in the carport. Starting on the left side, I have a junior creamed argent buck that I'm growing out a bit longer. This is PHA 129. He is out of Cold Country Acres 49, CC 49, and then 00 Rabbitry's 0029. And then down here I have a silver fox doe that I'm also growing out. It's a little hard to see her. And this is PHA 120. She is out of Silver Lining Harvest Arugula, and then I believe Sakura's Monty. I need to start writing the rabbitries that their parents are coming from on these tags. I just went through the rabbitry 2 days ago and reorganized everybody, moved some rabbits around, and then wrote out all these tags so that I can ID them a lot faster than trying to go into their cage and look at their ear tattoos. So I guess I'll have to add that. But next up we have another homegrown. This is PHA 112. She's a chocolate doe, and as far as body type, she is an improvement for sure. Her coat is a bit better than her mom's. It's still pretty light and silvering, but we are making progress. She is out of PHA 50 and Whiskey Tango Farms Goober. And next up, I'm super excited about this doe here. This is PHA's 110. And I named her Fly Me to the Moon. Her type is gorgeous. She is still pretty young. She was born in July, so she'll still change a little bit, but right now she's looking super promising. And I'll also be bringing her, as well as pretty much all of these rabbits in the carport, to our Toma show. And she is also out of PHA 50 and Goober. And coming down here, this is the mama to the little junior buck on the end there. This is Cold Country Acres CC 49. Her tattoo is much longer than that, but I abbreviated on all my cage tags with just the 49. Swinging over here, got another homegrown out of Arugula and Monty. This is Little Buck, and he's looking really promising as well. Good chance I'll keep him as a herd buck. I'm seriously running out of cages for all my silver fox bucks. Probably should downsize a little bit. And then this is his sister as well, PHA 122. She's a little bit heavily silvered, but her type is pretty decent and her muscling is excellent. super firm body and flesh condition. This here is a homegrown Holland Lap. She is out of Poppy and Rex the second. Poppy and Rex actually were both homegrowns as well. She should be getting bred here in the next month. And then over here I have another homegrown Holland Lap. She looks kind of like a mini lap, and her mom kind of looks like she might have something mixed in her. I have apparently purebred, pedigreed for Holland Lap papers on them, but I think there's probably something else mixed in here. So I grew her out, but I'm not a fan of her body type. She is way over the maximum for weight for Holland Laps, so I will be selling her probably to a pet home. So if any of you are close by and interested, she's super sweet. Her personality is excellent, and her coloring is beautiful. She's a broken opal, so she has a little bit of brown behind her neck and under her nose. Yeah, so that is the opal doe. And then over here I have both of my cream d'argent herd bucks. We have Top Marks MCR 39, and I picked him up at convention 2023. And then here's Double O's 0029. He has sired many litters here. He's a good looking guy. As I walk into the Rabbitry, on my left I have this really big cage, and this holds 3 of my silver fox bucks. In this first one I have Wayner's Cake, and he has sired many litters in 2023. He has probably the best coat out of all of my rabbits, or at least he's one of the best in my Rabbitry. He is a little bit on the smaller side for a buck, but he has a pretty compact body type, and his coat is just gorgeous. So that is Cake. And then coming over here we have Whiskey Tango Farms Goober, and this guy was sired by my buck. He's a little shy. Yep, he hopped in there. He's a pretty big boy. So he was sired by my buck Collins Moose, and then his mom was Silver Haven's Midnight Princess, who we also call Shrimp, and she was kept at Whiskey Tango Farm. He carries Chocolate. His dad Moose was a chocolate silver fox. And then coming over here, this is Cake's son, PHA 75, and he is out of Collins Cappuccino. So he also carries Chocolate, and he's a pretty little boy. His first litter I'll show later in this video, but he was bred to the doe that won Best of Breed Youth at convention this year, because she would not breed with my other 2 bucks over here. So he was looking pretty promising as a junior and stuck her in there, and they got a couple fall offs. So he is a first time dad as of a couple weeks ago. Then down here, this is my Holland Lap hutch. I've got Lori's Pie, and he's named Pie because he pretty much has just 3.14 feet. His mom chewed off a few of his toes as a baby, but he's doing great. Super sweet buck. And then down here I have one of his litters. The doe is Rustic Valley Homestead's Daphne. She had 4. We got some pretty colors out of this litter. The only concern that I have with this litter is their ears aren't dropping very quickly. So like this guy here, I don't know if his ears will ever drop. And then the doe back there, the little orange one, they have a pretty tight ear base. So these 2, I have a black and then black otter, and their ears are starting to loosen up and getting kind of floppy. So hopefully they will drop. But they have really nice heads and pretty nice bodies. these guys will all be available on my website. Looking for new homes January 13th. So that's my first Helen Lap litter. And then coming over here, I have PHA 32. She's out of Mocha, who I need to look back at my pedigrees and see what Rabbitry she came from, and add that to the tag as well. And then Callan's Moose. She likes to hide as well, and this door always gets stuck. Here she is. She's a pretty chunky lady. She is over silvered, but I actually prefer that to at least have one doe that's over silvered for my chocolates, because they tend to come out and lack silvering. So I will be showing her in 2 weeks. And her sister was PHA 50, who has a couple babies, or I guess juniors, in the carport. And I ended up calling her because she was super aggressive even when she didn't have a litter. So she took a big chunk out of my hand a couple months ago, and that was kind of the last straw. So we no longer have her, but her sister has done a wonderful job raising some chocolate babies. So hope to use her and continue to use her in this year. Over here I have 2 chocolate does, Silver Fox. This is Southside Sweeties S3F NT6, and I picked her up from Nationals in 2023. She has pretty good length of coat, and silvering is pretty good. She has slightly long shoulders, so I'll have to call a little extra hard on her kits, but she's a fun rabbit. And I just needed some new bloodlines for my chocolate line. I've been breeding a lot of my own homegrowns, and then also Collins lines, and I've been crossing to blacks to try to improve color and coat texture, silvering, all the things. So excited to get some babies out of her. And then next to her is Collins Chino, who has several babies here that I've kept and grown out. I'm considering selling her just because I have kept a couple of her does to replace her, but we'll see. Nothing's set in stone yet. And next to her I have a Cream D'Argent doe PHA 96 out of Cold Country Acres, Betty, and Double O Rabbitry's 29, and she's looking really, really nice. So excited about her. She will be joining our breeding program. And yeah. Next to her, I have a litter of Helen Laps. And this litter is out of PHA's Poppy, who also has a daughter in the Carport, the orange doe. And then they are sired by Lori's Pie. We got 2 foxes, a chestnut, and then 2 black otters out of this litter. They're looking pretty nice as well, and their ears are dropping better than the other Helen Lap litters. I've noticed that Lori's Pie has produced some pretty well-boned bunnies. We've got some nice chunky heads. They have nice top lines. They're pretty filled out. I haven't really posed them up that much, but I think their front limbs are pretty thick as well. So excited to pull these guys out and take some pictures of them and whatnot. They will also be available on our website January 13th. Over here we have a litter of Silver Fox. This is Pulaski Ranch's BP REA, and she was bred to PHA 75, like I was saying earlier. She had 3 black and a chocolate. The chocolate was a surprise to me, but I'm super excited to see how it'll grow out. as well as all these babies. Their mom won Best of Breed at convention for the youth show this year. So hopefully we have some nicely typed babies out of her. But we'll just have to see. And in my last video, when I introduced these guys to you, I did ask if anyone wanted to see updates, like evaluation updates on this litter as they get older, and I did have a couple people comment and say yes, they would like to see that. So I do plan on evaluating this litter a couple times and making those videos for you. They will probably start around 8 weeks old, and right now they are about 4 weeks old. So we still have a couple more weeks to go before we'll start doing that, but here's, I guess, a little update on them. And then next door we have a chocolate buck, and I left his door open because he's really shy and I wanted to catch a glimpse of him. This is a homegrown, this is PHA 103, and he is out of, let's see, he's out of Goober, Whiskey Tango Farms Goober, and a homegrown PHA 50. Yep, there he goes. He keeps his cage super clean, which is nice to have, especially for a buck. They're usually really messy. But he's a pretty clean guy and well typed. I hope to show him in 2 weeks as well. He, I don't think, has ever been to a show. I might have brought him to convention. I'd have to check my papers again. He was born in July. So there he is. There was a few grow outs that I knew I wanted to be keeping or growing out longer before the convention, and I decided not to take them just because I had so many rabbits that I was taking already, and I didn't want to risk anything because they were my up and coming next brood stock for my rabbitry. So I did leave some home, so that's why I can't remember if some of these that were born a few months before convention, if I brought them or not. But next door here, this is a New Zealand red buck, and he is out of Paprika and Finn, who I got from Shady Groves Rabbitry and Layman's Rabbitry. And his mom has done amazing at our fairs. She's won Best of Breed, I think, all the times that I've shown her, and that was also against some red-eyed whites. As she got older, though, she didn't quite make senior weight, so I didn't end up showing her after that. But when I did show her at the fair, the ARBA judges that were there did mention she had the best red coloring that they have seen, and she was a really nice typed rabbit. So her son here is a little bit lighter red than she was, but the doe that I kept out of the litter, that's in our garage now, pregnant, she has a deeper red, and this guy isn't too bad. It is pretty good compared to some that I have seen being bred, but super excited about this guy. He's a little shy as well, but hoping to show him in 2 weeks. I'm breeding like half of my rabbitry in 2 weeks to the first show of the year. And then over here we have Under the Clouds UTC 331. Picked him up at an auction at convention to support the Silver Fox Club. And he's an energetic guy, oh my goodness. He also has a really big head and a pretty massive body. His bone structure is just really big. So I was happy to add him to my lines as well. I seem to be getting a lot of smaller structured, more compact silver fox out of my lines, and they still make senior weight, and like they're still heavy, but they just don't have the massive bone structure. So hopefully with integrating him in, we'll start to get the more medium-sized, medium to large size silver fox that I would like to see. In the garage, I have a 4-hole double stacker homemade cage, and this holds 4 pregnant does. They're due in 2 days. Super excited for these guys. Starting off here, I have my New Zealand red doe. This is PHA 58, and she is out of Paprika and Finn. I just gave her her nest box 2 days ago, and she right away started using it as a litter box. So I removed it, and now that she's 2 days out from delivering, gave it back to her this morning. And as you can see, she has completely destroyed her nest. So that might be problematic, but we shall see. She might decide last minute that she needs to build a nest and actually put a nice one together. But for now, it's not looking so good. I don't palpate my rabbits anymore, but I did feel her belly when I brought her in here a couple days ago, and it was pretty hard and round, so I think she's pregnant. Otherwise, she might have some digestive issues, but I think she's pregnant. And then her neighbor over here is Grand's GBD3, and I believe she's only had 1 or 2 litters here with us, and she had one at her previous Rabbitry, and she has built a lovely nest back over there. And then up here we have a Cream d'Argent homegrown doe, PHA 54, who is out of CCA's Betty and Flatland Farms 260 FF. And she's kind of made a nest. In my winter chores video that I filmed, I talk about why I'm using this type nest box and all about that. So if you're wondering, go check that out. And then over here is a homegrown silver fox, PHA 88, and she hasn't touched her nest since I put the hay in there. So we shall see. But these are the bunnies in the garage, and I have my pregnant does in here right now because it does stay a little bit warmer, and they're closer to the house, so it's easier for me to check on them and help them if they need it. And lastly, I have 2 litters that are weaned in this cage. Up top we have a Cream d'Argent litter. It's just 3 does that I've kept together, and they are out of Cold Country Acres 49 and then double Rabbitry's 0029. And here they are. I'm trying to pick between 2 of them, and the third one is more of a brood type. She would make an excellent brood doe if you're doing meat rabbits. Her sisters would definitely do better in the show ring than she would. So if you are interested in her, send me a message through Facebook or our website. I'll leave links to both in the comments or in the description of the video. But the whole litter turned out pretty nice. Yeah, so I have to decide between 2 of these does, which one I want to keep as a breeder. I'll be bringing both of them to the show and try to get some second opinions from the judge and from other breeders. You can see this doe here in the front. She has better silvering than the one behind her. So it pretty much comes down to the coat or the body type, which one I would rather keep, because the one that has the better coat has a little bit worse body type, and then the one that has better body type doesn't have that great of a coat. So tough decisions. I'm trying to kind of cut down on how many creams I'm keeping and growing out, and maybe replacing my brood stock a little bit. So I need to figure out which ones I'm keeping and what doe would best complement the stock that I have. And then anyway, down here I have a silver fox litter. This is out of Collins Chino and then Wayner's Cake. And here they are. And this litter will be available on my website January 13th as well. Very promising babies in here. We definitely have a couple that would be better for meat breeding and homestead purposes, but we do have a few in here that are looking really nice for show and would be great for brood as well. There's one or two that I might keep, definitely one. With this breeding, they are all chocolate carriers, so I was hoping to improve the coats for sure on this litter, and for the most part they have. I do have a couple like this one here, and I think there should be one more, either the one in the back or there's one hiding, that they're lightly silvered, so that didn't really work out, but the length and the texture are looking really nice, and type as well. These are, let's see, when were they born? These were born October 19th, and they are, I haven't weighed them yet, but just looking, they're the same size as the creams above them that are a month older. So they have super nice growth rates, and their bone structures are super thick. They are very big boned babies. So if you're looking for some brood stock, maybe 4-H rabbits for your kids, and whatnot, check out our website for those on January 13th, and I'll have pictures and information for each individual rabbit listed. And with that, we will end today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe on your way out, and we'll see you in the next one.